The 24-25 Premier League season is about to kick off in 2 weeks from now, 1 week from now actually, and I want to make some Premier League predictions, so let's go through it. I'm using, as you can see here, Tier List Maker to do these Premier League predictions. I thought it would be fun this way. I don't know if any other creators are doing this, like, not that I know of, but I wanted to do it this way. Now I'm just going to go through these clubs like this, like how they are ordered here. So it seems like we're starting off with Tottenham here, not saying that they finished 7th, but I will talk more about some clubs than others, like, for example, let's look here, Bournemouth. I don't really care about Bournemouth, so I won't talk as much about them as I will about other clubs. And I will reorder this at the end to see once we get all the clubs in here. But Tottenham, I think they don't finish top 4, and here is why. I've seen too little ambition from them so far in the transfer window. They haven't really been trying to get any big name signings. And Tottenham fans are quite frankly delusional if they think that with the current state of their midfield, which is they say they don't have a single good midfielder, that they can finish top 4. They simply can't. This midfield from Tottenham is inadequate. Their front three is getting carried by an aging son. So, quite frankly, I don't think that Tottenham has many good chances here in the upcoming season to finish top 4. I think that they should be happy with 5th, considering their squad. But quite frankly, I think they should be happy with getting their manager sacked, who has accomplished nothing since coming to Tottenham. Then, the next club, West Ham United. Are we expecting a big season from West Ham? Now, it says Europa League is actually the 5th and 6th spot here, but I'm not sure about that, because when you go over to Google, and you can see here, you can see it's saying 5th is Europa League, 6th is not, so maybe that is wrong, I don't know. But anyhow, are we seeing West Ham in Europa League spots next season? I'm not quite sure. They've sold a few players, but nothing too notable. They still have Alvarez, not Julian Alvarez, Jordan Alvarez, who is a very good and underrated defensive midfielder in my opinion. So 6th, I think they can make it. I think they can make top 6. But then again, and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, I am expecting Chelsea to get back in form. So maybe I will drop them down to 7th. And then let's go on to the next team here. Everton, I don't care much about Everton. They will narrowly escape relegation, as they have done for the past 3 seasons now. It will just be a repeat of that. And then Chelsea, this is more interesting. Now, I don't know if I'll put Chelsea in top 4 or not, I'll come back to that later, but I will put them ahead of Tottenham, and here's why. Chelsea is rebuilding their squad. Todd Bowley is spending money again, which, I mean, yeah, Todd Bowley has spent a lot of money and not gotten results. But what people don't quite seem to respect with Todd Bowley at Chelsea is the more he stays at Chelsea, the more he learns to understand football. When Todd Bowley first arrived, he did not understand how football worked. He never cared about football. Now, Todd Bowley has had 2 years of experience being a club owner. He is very serious about making Chelsea at the very least economically successful. And for that you at the very least need to finish in these Champions League, Europa League spots. So, considering the money that he has invested. So I do think that Todd Bowley is going to try to get Chelsea back up there, which is more than most owners do, but that his problem is incompetence. I think that bringing in a new manager for Chelsea might be a good idea if Todd Bowley is actually going to listen to the manager and learn from him. And I also think that Todd Bowley has learned a lot so far in his first 2 years, 3 years being a Chelsea owner. I think he realizes now, I can't just throw money at a question and expect it to work. He understands he has to spend his money in a certain way and he has to limit his squad size. At this point he understands that, and not enough people talk about that. Which is why, again, I'm expecting Chelsea to come back stronger now, to have a better squad, a more balanced squad, and they are buying experience, which is also important. They have experienced players now in that 11, which, I mean, it's not a lot of experience, but it's better than what they had before. Then, Brighton and Hove Albion. Yeah, you're going mid-table, aren't you? Same with Crystal Palace here. And Fulham. Not really interesting, these three clubs. Brighton is just a money club. They are never going to go up or down. They just stay mid-table all their life. Ooh, Liverpool. That is spicy. Now, obviously, there can only be two in this categories, but... Now, I'm expecting a drop-off for Liverpool in the second half of the season. I'm expecting Liverpool to start their season well, and I've discussed this on a Football Heritage with Sava, but not to great extent, but I'm expecting Liverpool to start well in their season with Arne Slot, and I don't know if they'll be in a title race or not, but I'm expecting them to be in top 4. But I don't think Arne Slot realizes the pressure that he's going to be under yet when he's at Liverpool. And when the second half of the season hits, and all the pressure is on Arne Slot, I expect him to go, and to just collapse, to just not have expected it, and Liverpool to go down and down and down in that league table. But I don't think they finished 8th. I really don't think they finished that low. So I might have to push Tottenham and West Ham down a bit. Because I don't think Liverpool finishes below top 6. I just don't see them finishing in top 4 either. So I guess I'm moving these two down. Then Leicester City, the Premier League winners of 2016, 11th place or 10th place or something like that, and never to be great again. That's what happens when you have to sell all your best players. Leicester City, what am I expecting from them? That's difficult, you know. They are back in the Premier League, and I think they're here to stay, but I don't expect much from them, to be honest. I expect them to survive, maybe do better than Everton, but that's about it. Not very interesting to talk about. I don't know what I'm expecting from them. They came from the Championship. Like Ipswich Town, they are getting straight relegated again, and so is Southampton. But because these teams are garbage, but Leicester, very difficult to gauge. Didn't watch the Championship all that much. I do know that these two teams are garbage, but very difficult, yeah, these teams. Now, Wolves. What type of season are we expecting of them? Obviously, Wolves, a very comfortable mid-table club. Don't watch them a lot last season, or haven't watched them a lot last season. They did play very well last season though, so let's see if they can maintain that into a oncoming season here. And I think Wolves could potentially finish as high as 8th. But I do favour West Ham and Brighton over the Wolves here, so I'll have them finish as 10th, and then one of them, these two have to go down. I think it will be Crystal Palace, because it can only be 4 in this bracket, of course. 8, 9, 10, 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, what? Why can't I do maths? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know how to do maths. Anyhow. So yeah, Crystal Palace can stay there. Man City and Arsenal here together. Perfect. Now let's talk about a title race here. That's difficult. Arsenal have not spent anything this summer except on Calafiori, who is a defender. Manchester City have not spent anything this summer except Savio, who we knew was coming, and might see Alvarez leave, probably will see Alvarez leave. So what are we saying here? Man City needs to get Alvarez out of the door first, I believe, and get the money from Atletico Madrid, then go spend that money on a defensive midfielder. Get what you need, not what you want, what you need. And what Man City needs right now is another midfielder. I don't care if it's a defensive midfielder, an attacking midfielder, just a midfielder. If Man City can get that, it doesn't matter what Arsenal does. It doesn't matter. Arsenal can do what they want. If Man City gets what they need, they will win the league again. Now, Arsenal, how can Arsenal win the league title? They have to get a striker, and they have to hope that City does not get another midfielder. Which, quite frankly, that is a lot of hoping, and I'm not gonna make these predictions off of hope. I'm gonna make them off of what I expect. And I expect Man City to do what is best for themselves. Which leaves Arsenal, unfortunately, back in second place. Bournemouth, I don't really care about you. You can go here. You'll probably finish above Leicester and Everton. Then Brentford. Might be getting relegated, you know. Actually, I'll save Brentford for later. I'll save Brentford for last. Then, Aston Villa. They've played very well last season with Unai Emery. Unai Emery got them to the semi-final of the Conference League, a competition which many people underrate. Conference League clubs here, Olympiacos, Club Brugge, put them in the Premier League. They finish in top 4 or top 5 at the very least. So those teams are not weak teams. Now Club Brugge has had a very poor start of the season, let's ignore that. Aston Villa is the subject matter here. Getting a few signings in, being very tactical into the transfer window, and okay, they've had to sell some players, but for the most part, I think they've held onto the crucial players and gotten in adequate replacements. Now, I don't watch all these players that Aston Villa have signed, obviously. I don't know, is this player gonna hit the ground running or not? Most of those players here that I've seen that Aston Villa has signed, I don't even know who they are. Well, I'll be honest, I've not watched most of them. But they have gotten replacements and they've held on to crucial players such as Ollie Watkins, and there were rumors about Martinez wanting to leave. They've held on to those players, and I think with that core, Aston Villa, like with Tielemans as well on the bench for Aston Villa, they can really kick off. Because Tielemans is a great midfielder to have on the bench, you know. Nottingham Forest, 2 times Champions League winner. Not this year, unfortunately, for them. What am I expecting from Nottingham Forest? They have struggled with FFP. Everton is struggling with FFP as well at the moment. Well, PSR to be exact. They haven't been good last season, but they've been good enough to survive, which doesn't say a lot. But without any PSR reductions this season, I think, yeah, sure, they can kick on and stay. I think they can kick on and stay comfortably above Everton, probably even above Leicester. So let's put them above Leicester, yeah. I think they can finish 14th, absolutely. Newcastle United. Now I'm gonna have to reorder this, I think. They are not finishing top 4th again. They are. Are they finishing 7th? Are they finishing 8th? That's the range I see them in. That's certainly the range I see Newcastle in. Obviously, Isaac, Anthony Gordon, Bruno Guimaraes, a lot of good players, and maybe last season was a bit of a disaster season for the Newcastle. But still, they are just. I think the one time they reach Champions League is really a one-off. It's not gonna happen again, I think. So Newcastle, I think they go mid-table again. They might reach Conference League. In fact, I would put them in Conference League, but I don't think Spurs would fail to get Conference League either. So maybe they finish above Liverpool in Europa League. And Liverpool finishes 8th. That's difficult. Let's skip that for now, we'll reorder this later. Manchester United, yeah, I'm putting them in top 4, very comfortably as well. Man United is gonna come back. Man United is the biggest club in England at the moment. Like, overall it's Liverpool of course, but because trophy cabinet, but Manchester United, qua fan base, qua standards, is the biggest club in England. They have higher standards than Manchester City. Man City doesn't have that high of a standards actually. They mostly have Pep to reinforce the standards. So Manchester United, they've gotten some signings in. Xerxes is the most notable, I believe, because a striker is really what United needed. Rashford and what's his name, Højlund, those are not good strikers. So getting Xerxes in, let's see if he pops off next season. Kobe Mainu and Ahmad, if they stay, not like Ahmad, if Ahmad stays, and Kobe Mainu we know as staying, they are dangerous. Then if that left wing you put like anyone really, except for Rashford, you can try to experiment a bit with your left wing, but just don't put Marcus Rashford there if you're a United fan. And their defense is very underrated. Maguire is overhated as hell. He was a great defender at Leicester. People forget that. When he first arrived at Manchester United, he played very poorly. But Maguire is still a decent defender. He's not the best defender, of course. Neither is Evans, for that matter. But you still have a team there to work with, and you can still try to rotate a bit and stuff. Maybe get another defender is the priority for Manchester United here at the end of the transfer period. If they can get another defender, like I know they got Joro, but he's a 19-year-old. Like get maybe another experienced defender, and then I can really say you look like top 4 material. And as it stands, do they finish above Aston Villa, or do they finish 4th? Ooh, that's spicy. You know what? Aston Villa finishes 3rd. I'll go with that. Aston Villa finishes 3rd this season. Or well, next season, however you want to put it. Then, Brentford. Yes, you're getting Europa League, certainly, but no. Brentford, Everton, and Leicester City here are the 3 clubs that are going to be in this relegation battle at the 18th spot. I think Nottingham Forest will do enough to not get in that relegation zone. I think Leicester City is just a bit too good to finish back in relegation. So it's back to Brentford and Everton. Now Everton I think is better than Brentford and will probably win more games. But Everton is also facing another PSR situation where they could potentially get points deducted. So if that happens, Everton might get relegated. But since that has not happened yet, going just off of what is maybe the most realistic, I will say Everton probably survives. And then that is Liverpool in 8th, really. This is difficult, you know. Not very happy with this because I think Spurs can get the Conference League, but I don't think they are finishing above Liverpool. Maybe they are. Maybe they are, but depends on how high Spurs finishes. Really, I think. Then I move Newcastle down. Spurs to 6th, Liverpool to 7th, and Newcastle to 8th. This is difficult. Because I fully believe that Manchester United and Chelsea will have a revised team here. But Liverpool all the way down to 7th. Not sure about that. Well, you guys will have to tell me about that, yeah? You guys will have to tell me who you think is going to finish where. And Crystal Palace can go here. Crystal Palace finishing like 13th or something. And anyhow, yeah. You guys tell me down below what you're expecting here from this. How accurate is this, yeah? I think the most interesting here is champions. I expect Man City again, 5 in a row. And then Brentford, Southampton and Ipswich Town getting relegated. Leicester City survived their season back into the Premier League. Yeah, tell me what you guys think down below in the comments. Who do you expect to go champion? And more importantly, who do you expect between Chelsea, Tottenham and Liverpool to finish the highest? Because I put Liverpool here at 7th now and Chelsea as 5th. Tell me, between just Chelsea, Tottenham and Liverpool, where do you expect those 3 to finish relatively to each other? Do you expect Liverpool to finish above the other 2, or how do you expect it? Thank you for watching to the end. Please like and subscribe if you're new around the channel, helps out a bunch. And consider checking out some of my other content. We've been growing massively here over the channel. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and I'll see you guys on the next one.